Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. So, I'm going to start with centralized infrastructure and decentralized infrastructure. It is important to know if you are fresher, you must know the difference between these two, as well as the name is concerned. It's basically clearly saying what it is, but still, I think it is important to briefly describe here. So, when we talk about centralized infrastructure, as you can see this image, so here a centralized infrastructure means placing all the power, decision making, and data inside a single primary hub, and every other piece of the network, which you can see here. All these are the components of this infrastructure or environment. So, every other piece of this network, like the end user or client, has to communicate directly with this main hub to function, right? So the main idea behind this centralized infrastructure is to have a single authority that controls the entire ecosystem, and for decision making it manages from top to bottom or top to down. Okay, the best use for centralized management is the situations that demand strict control, uniform security, and rapid deployment within a contained environment. So let's take an example of a bank. Okay, so the bank's main corporate data center acts as the absolute center of the universe for that institution. So whether you are swiping your debit card at a grocery store, checking your balance on a mobile app, or getting cash from an ATM, your request goes straight to the bank center server. The bank authenticates who you are, approves the transaction, and updates your ledger. So if their center database goes offline, your card stops, your transaction is stopped, and you cannot perform any banking transaction, right? So everything has its advantages and disadvantages, or we can say pros and cons. So if we talk about the advantages of having the centralized infrastructure, so the first and foremost thing is simplified management. Second is consistency. So everyone operates under the exact same rules and policies and accesses the exact same data. Okay. And the third thing, which is authority. So there is no confusion about who is in charge. Making troubleshooting is straightforward once you are using the centralized infrastructure. Fine. And the cons means the disadvantages of having the centralized infrastructure is single point of failure. So if the central hub crashes or is compromised, the entire networks stop working. Scalability and bottleneck. Okay, as more users flood the system, the center server can get overloaded easily. So this is again the disadvantage of centralized infrastructure. So whenever you are going to build any centralized infrastructure, you make sure you see the future of it, because if the resources are limited and you did not plan for next 5 years or 6 years and your users or business grows, so it could be bottleneck. Fine. And the main thing in the disadvantage is the high value target, because the center server or the center nervous system, the server like domain controller, Active Directory domain controller, having all the powers, okay, having manage all the users, authenticate all the users, having the access control list, okay, to access the resources and all. So this is always the high value target for the attackers. Okay, now let's talk about the decentralized infrastructure. So in decentralized infrastructure, as you can see here, there is no centralized management server who control every other node of the infrastructure. So decentralized infrastructure completely flips the script. Instead of relying on one supreme leader or server, the power, data, and decision-making responsibilities are spread across a wide network of independent participants called node. So they work together based on a shared set of rules. The main idea behind decentralized infrastructure is that the authority is distributed and there is no single point of control. Fine. Decision making achieved through network consensus and autonomous collaboration. Fine, because uh, no one node here can take the overall decision for overall infrastructure. Fine. So when we talk about the example of the decentralized infrastructure, so the best example for decentralized infrastructure is the blockchain, because the blockchain is the ultimate showcase of decentralization. There is no central Bitcoin server or CEO running the show. Instead, the network is powered by thousands of independent computers operating all over the globe, and every single one of these nodes keeps a copy of public ledger. So when someone sends a transaction, okay, the node use a shared mathematical protocol to verify it together. And because the data and authority are scattered globally, no single government, corporation, or hacker can shut it down or alter the record on their own. Although this is basically the theory, but we saw many attacks and vulnerabilities within the Bitcoin applications and systems. Now, when we talk about the advantages and disadvantages of having decentralized infrastructure, so in advantages, there is maximum resiliency because there is no single point of failure. Even if this node fails, only these users will be affected because the failure of this node. Rest of the users or rest of the nodes still work, okay, and they can communicate the information they contain. Fine. The second thing is enhanced security because there is no master database or single vault for an attacker to breach. So it provides or enhance the security. Censorship proof, no single entity has the power to block users or objects, freezing accounts, or manipulate the core rule. So that's why censorship proof is also there. If you talk about the disadvantages, so the first disadvantage of having the decentralized infrastructure is designing, building, and maintaining a system with no central command, okay, or no central boss is incredibly difficult because you have to manage all these nodes. Fine, and it's complex because it built a mesh network. Fine, so maintenance is also difficult. Second disadvantage is slower performance, and this is again because every node has to verify and agree on changes. Transactions take longer to process. And the third disadvantage is tricky governance. Centralized management systems or centralized infrastructures are uh, pretty easier for the governance, but decentralized infrastructures are hard to maintain the governance. Okay, so implementing major software updates requires getting thousands of independent operators to agree. Okay, so these are the few things about centralized infrastructure and decentralized infrastructure, because once you go into the industry, you may face decentralized infrastructures too. Okay, so that's why it is important for me to briefly describe the difference between these two. Fine, so I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.